All right, welcome to my class. I'm Mr. Booth. These are my expectations. I tried to keep it fairly simple. There's like five or six like main themes, and then there's smaller ones. I know this might get a little bit long. I think it's going to take 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, but um, I I really want you to listen to it all, even if you have to break it up into bits. There will be a quiz on it later, so it's not like it's useless knowledge. How we act in this class and how you listen to the basically the or how you follow the expectations I set out determines how well the program that I've designed actually works for you. So with that in mind, here's my first big expectation. When you come, you're ready for class. So all these are in the first person, like I'm ready for class, I this, because that was the way that seemed most natural to me. So yeah. Okay, so being ready for class, that means you have your homework done and it's ready for me to collect if I'm collecting it, or it's submitted online. You have your book, Chromebook, computer, notebook, writing utensils. Like, you got to have your stuff. And if you come to class frequently without that stuff, eventually I'm just going to say, you know what, tough luck. And you're going to have to get the notes later, and it will affect your ability to do well in class. So just have your stuff. It's not that stuff should be with you all the time. Um, anyhow, okay. I went to the bathroom before I got here. So I've had a few years now where it seems like I have a bunch of kids who kind of like decide like my class is the class to go to the bathroom. I'm sure every teacher has this, but I think since sometimes I'm chill about it and I try and, be responsive to your needs and the things that matter to you, I sometimes say, okay, it's fine. Yeah, go to the bathroom. But if it becomes a pattern, that's a problem, and I will address it with you. You need to go before you come to class. Like, I have to go to the bathroom before I come to class. I can't leave class. Can you imagine if I just walked out and said, hey guys, I'm going to the bathroom? Like, the only time I can do that is if like I'm sick or, there's like an emergency or something. So the same thing should go for you. You don't leave my class to go to the bathroom. You go before you get there. You also get a drink before you go there, before you get to class, or, get your soda, or run that paper down to the office, or hand in the paper that you have for your other teacher. Bottom line is, if you have something else that needs to be done that does not pertain to my class, don't do it in my class. You do it on your own time, during passing time, or lunch, or before school, or after school. If you can't fit it in there, you're organizing your time poorly, because there's plenty of time in those times to do those things. Finally, and this is one of my big, big, big things, your cell phone or electronic device is off and away. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. It should not ever be out during the class period. And we can talk more about that. And I'll give you some of my philosophy on that probably in class. But the bottom line is, I don't think that it adds anything to class. And the way that I've designed the program for you to learn and interact with each other does not require you to have an electronic device. In fact, it's hampered by you having your phone and being able to text one another during class, or Snapchat with your friends outside of class, or other things. So it's got to be a way. If it's not, I'll take it the first time or first few times, and then eventually I'll call your parents and I'll send it to the office and they'll have to pick it up. So just don't have it out. Okay, this is I feel like one of the next biggest thing. Being ready for class is good, and it's really, really, really important, and that's what you're expecting me to say. The very next thing is how you treat people. And I expect you to treat people well. And that means that even if it's, you're kidding around, or you're trying to be funny, or it's your best friend, you don't bully, intimidate, or make fun of them, period. It doesn't happen. Because, even if it's your friend, they might not tell you, but they might not like it. And every little negative interaction kind of affects how people perform in their classes and how well they learn. And everybody should feel safe. Everybody should feel like they're going to have positive interactions in our class. So I expect you not to bully, intimidate, or make fun of others. And if you do, I'll call you out on it. So, and I'll make snarky comments, but I really try to avoid making fun of people. I'll make comments, and if I make fun of somebody, please call me out. And if you ever feel offended because of what I said, call me out, because I expect that you do that, and I will do that for you too, so that we can all feel good in class. I expect you to treat others and the class as more important than yourself when you're in class. Now, I know that sounds kind of weird, but basically the bottom line is you're in a group, and if you act selfishly, it's not going to work well for the group. So you need to put, if you're like, oh no, like I really need to sharpen my pencil, but we're obviously in the middle of a lecture having a really good discussion, try and find a way around it. Like, oh, I'll pull a pen out of my backpack, or I'll very discreetly borrow one from somebody. The point is, do things that allow other people to learn, and try not to derail people. This also goes for if you're like in a bad mood, or if you've had some rough things happen outside of school. I totally want you to feel like you have space to deal with that, but I expect you to deal with it personally. So that means like you come, you tell me, and I say, hey, why don't you go over, into the shop if we're in the classroom, or why don't you stay in the classroom for a minute if we're in the shop, and you just kind of take a moment to cool off or to deal with what's going on with you. And so that it doesn't take away from other people's learning, but you can still deal with the things you need to. This one is one of my really, really, really like core beliefs, and one of the biggest pet peeves I have, and one of the things that I think is ruining our country right now, is people don't let others express their feelings fully and opinions completely, even if they disagree with them. And it's really critical. And when you can't be listening and constructing a response at the same time, so you need to listen all the way, even if you don't agree. And then, at the end, you'll have something to say, but don't construct your responses, and listen all the way through, and don't jump on people, because it just ruins the atmosphere, and it causes arguments and contention, which we don't want in our class. I focus all judgmental statements on myself and talk about how I felt or took something rather than how someone made me feel. What that means is nobody can make you feel anything. Nobody can make you do anything, period. Like, you are an agent of your own self. You can do anything you want. Like, you are able to do and make any choice you want to make. So if somebody did something and you got mad, then instead of saying they made me mad, they can't make you mad. What they did was offensive to me and I got mad. You have to kind of put the blame where it belongs, right? So any emotions you have are your emotions. Any responses you made are your responses. So own them. And if you do that, that'll help kind of cut down on fighting and contention as well, because people never want to feel like they're the blame, or they're the to blame for something that you did wrong. And then finally, like, this is kind of like the professional code, right? So like, I always stop and think whether my next words or actions will help people work productively and collaboratively or not. So every comment I make in a staff meeting, every comment I make to students, I'm always trying to think, okay, is this going to work to my advantage? Is it going to work against, what we're trying to build here? And you need to do the same thing. And if you do that, you'll be successful. And if you don't, you'll run into problems and social issues and personality issues a lot in your professional career. And it only takes a second to stop and think, I wonder how this is going to go if I say this. And, find a right setting. If you need to say something because it's important, like you're really having a personality or struggle with somebody, and you need to say it, don't say it in a way or in a place that's going to be super offensive. Wait until the time is right or the setting is better. And if you need help with that, you can always ask me, and I can help step in. That's my job as a teacher. I treat my time in this class like it's valuable, because you know what? It is valuable. Like, you're never going to get this time back, and you're never going to get a free education like this again. It costs money after, these 4 years. Um, to show me that, and to show yourself that this time is valuable, you need to make sure that every day you've learned what you needed to learn, and you ask questions to check that. You can ask me, you can ask your classmates, but you just want to make sure that you're always clarifying and asking, oh yeah, is this what we were supposed to have learned today? You need to participate in every activity. And even if you're like, well, I'm kind of shy, I don't really want to do like this mixer or whatever, like, sorry, you have to participate. I'm not going to haze you. I'm not going to single you out unless I'm positive you're comfortable with it, or I ask you ahead of time and you say, yeah, it's okay. I don't want to be singled out. I know you don't want to be singled out, but some class activities require us to work in a group or to do things that maybe are uncomfortable so we can learn something. And you need to trust me that I'm going to make sure that it's comfortable enough, and I'm not going to single you out, and participate so that the experience is better for everybody. You need to